Aries, and welcome to the Astroflower. This is going to be a reading for the 13th through to the 20th. It's going to be in two parts. This first part, we're actually going to go through and combine it with the Astroflower and see how the elements and the qualities are affecting the cards that come out in your reading for today. So, without further ado, let's get straight in here with your reading. We're obviously going to be doing the 10 petals. Petal 1, the influence from the universe. Petal 1 and 4, nice card already. Petals 2 and 3 are to do with your karmic path. And then after that you have your petals. Oh, what? This is what? Aries? What's going down? Let me just move these across a little bit, just so you can see it a bit better, maybe. What is going down? This is great cards. Absolutely brilliant. Blimey. And here we go, out this side as well. Very fast. It's very you. This is not your time of year to do this sort of thing, to be honest. One last one for the inside of you that's going on, just so you can have a good look at those cards. Well, you know, just as well not clarifying in the same pack, which will be in part 2, the video, second video, because you've got all the good cards. You've got all the cards that are really, really nice. Got a lot of fire, got everything moving very quickly on the surface, but underneath, there is definitely movement and the start of movement. It's something that's obviously been working on you for a while. You are in your autumn period. Sorry about this. You are on your autumn period, and you will be coming into equivalent of 2 months before your birthday. That's going to be starting as it goes through your season. So you're going to be on the physical side of life, sort of qualifying what you've been doing over the past year, what you want to do. So that could be with jobs or business or building houses or activities or playing sport, stuff like that, and what you want to do next year, setting some goals and stuff like that. That's the sort of period thing you should be in. And we can definitely see that here, because your guides are really trying to encourage you on this side, on the physical side. So this is the physical side, this is the spiritual side, this is the outcome, this is what's basically floating through you. So what we have here on petal 4, because we're going to start on that side. If you want to see your Astroflower, there is a link in the description below where you can put up the photo and image from our website, and you'll be able to see the elements and the qualities that goes through your sign. So on petal 4 here, you have your cardinal fire that coming up, but also your cardinal water, which comes through from Capricorn, your fellow cardinals. And they make, you know, together you make up your petal 4, and you've got the 2 of Cups. So the universe is trying to encourage you to join forces through pleasure, through fun, through, I think, more respect, actually. That's the word that comes to mind. So respect for another person. So you could work in, let's just say you work as in industry and you're doing design and stuff like that. And so you're really good at structural sort of design stuff and stuff like that. Or you're an accountant and you're working in accounts. And in fact, you work with someone who works in sales, which combining those two and celebrating their capacity to sell things and celebrating your capacity to keep a close eye on the ship financially and stuff like that, or on the structural plans, and the other person, say, like the graphic designer, as it were. And this is amalgamating of 2 passions, as it were, for whatever you do physically in this world. This could be with your partner. This could be the time for you to sort of buy a place and stuff like that, and making your life concrete out the whole sort of thing. And this is what the universe is trying to encourage this week, to sort of join that sort of path. And both of those cardinal energies are going up. So it should be should be very satisfying this month here if you take your time by the looks of things. That's the important part. You've got to take your time. If you don't take your time, we'll see that in the second reading. Okay? So your karmic path here on the physical front, you've got the Queen of Swords. Now, she's got the wind behind her. She's using a sword as like a rudder, so it's guiding her through the future. And that's, I think your karmic path this week is a case of staying on your steady course physically. So not jumping from pillar to post, not changing jobs and stuff like that, but actually thinking about what you want for the coming year. That's really important. I've been to the dentist recently, so I'm having a problem with the tooth. So I might be slurring a bit occasionally, but don't worry about it. It's all right. Yeah, so you're going in, as long as you stay on that cap. So you've pulled a direction, stay on it for the time being, sit tight. But it's a good time to explore because your guides are sort of trying to do that. The hermit goes up that stairwell and he's learning as he goes up the mountain of knowledge. So your guides are encouraging you to reflect upon your life in the physical sense, in the material sort of world. And as you go up those paths, each step is understanding more and more about yourself. As you do understand about yourself, and finally when you get to the end of that path, which is around your birthday, really, that's when you renew things. And there's also things coming in on the spiritual path, which we'll talk about in a minute. But you will be able to express that understanding of last year, of what you've done, the judgment of last year, what you want to continue, what you want to stop, what you want to start new. And you'll be able to start expressing that through you. And it looks like it's coming from a really good place, which is really nice. So maybe it's a realization this year, this autumn, this winter. And you're saying, I've pushed myself hard. Maybe, there needs to be a bit more fair give and take by the whole sort of thing. Or there's a new project coming up that you're working on, but it's not actually been launched as yet. And we can see that with the Knight of Wands. That seems to be, that's that fast journey, that really fast energy, passionate, explosive, rhythmical, consistent. And there seems to be something brewing up in your subconscious that's something that you would like to change or you would like to develop. That's what it's sort of coming through. Because in this petal here, at the base of this hermit, you've got fire and fixed fire that comes through you here, and then it goes out up the top there. So that's coming from Taurus, from the sign next to you. And there's fixed fire at the base with cardinal water that comes up through there. And these elements can be a little bit sort of contradictory. But what you've got in this part, and the universe is doing, is helping you here, is really helping your guides out. They're really sort of saying, we've got your back. We're going to help you out here as long as you come from a good place. And it seems like you're starting from a good point of view to review your life. And if that is the case, then you've got to fit it in with the rest of the world, and you've got to stay true to who you are. And I think that's the overall thing that you're going to be working on, or that's going to be on the surface this week. You might well be a little bit not withdrawn, but discerning, and a good, healthy discerning, having healthy barriers or boundaries. So on the physical front, so they're your guides are asking you to go within now physically and start really sorting those sort of things out. What you want to do as activity next year. And your guides on your mental side, which have water and earth at their base, both fixed. And that's giving you a clarity of thought in regards to the material world. So it's really good. And above that, you've got that water and fire mix again, with mutable water coming in from your other neighbour, Pisces. So you've got that cardinal fire on that mutable water. So those ideas, those passions are going to come from you. and you're going to test the waters of what it's like with the world outside. How does it fit emotionally? That's what's going on this week. So it's a real tester this week. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Oh, I don't like that. You know, and then you kind of go, okay, you know, it will be able to help you out testing ideas in the physical world and conversing with people around you about what emotionally is also something that you can live next year. There's no point smashing everything up. You know, try and fit it in with everything else. And you've got to be strong, and it's going to set you on a strong path where you'll know where you're going in the future with that strength card. Okay, let's have a look on the spiritual side of things. So the universe is really rooting for you at the moment, Aries. Really rooting for you. You got the Ten of Cups, beautiful card, all about happiness, family, unity, community, but happiness in the sense that everything seems to be good. Your neighbour seems to be good. He's whistling and saying hello to you and everything like that. And you're kind of, oh, how you doing? And everything seems to be in its place. That's what the universe is trying to bring you on the spiritual front. Because, and I think this is tied to the physical side, simply because on your karmic path, you have the birth, the death and rebirth, but you also have the Knight of Pentacles. So this idea of maybe change that you're sort of toying with at the moment, that's what seems to be, and it could be on a very simple thing, like sort of redecorating the house. You know, it doesn't have to be a massive move. Often the small things are the biggest changes we do. So that start of that journey on the spiritual front is sort of expressing yourself. And you have, Aries, water and fire in these three petals here, 2, 3, and 4. You go cardinal, fixed, perfectly fixed with the Queen of Swords. She's fixed her, as I said, fixed her cap. She's using it as a runner. And then you've got the mutables on here, where it's saying you've got the resources at your hands. It's the start of a new journey. And when we start things, you've got to try it out. You're going to get things wrong. We all get things wrong. Don't worry about that. That's the least of the worries. The majority of the worry is not doing it. That's the important part. And the universe is backing you up to an extent that also on this side, your guides who are trying to create or help create the coincidences that are around you in the physical world, to start that journey, to sort of have those coincidences that help you to get down that road and on that journey. And it is the Page of Pentacles, and it is starting on the physical front. This is why I think it's tied in. It may not be for all of you, but it could be sort of taking on a new job next year, maybe moving area, or, you know, have quite a bit of a change going on in your life. And it could be putting a bit of pressure on you. This petal down here, this petal 1, where you've got the Ten of Cups, you've got your cardinal fire that's coming down from your good selves and cardinal earth coming up from Cancer. So it has to do with the family, I think. And because it's got that fire and earth combination, it's the passionate about the material side of pleasure and of emotions. So it could be of moving house or decorating or building or something like that. And with the Ace of Pentacles in there, it seems to be tied into something physical this at the moment, which could be that change of job, change of house and everything like that. Because on this one here, on the page, at the base, you have that cardinal earth that's coming out and that mutable water. So that's what I would call fertile land. Water and earth is perfect. All you need is a bit of air and a bit of fire, which you do have at the top, because you've got mutable air coming out the top with your cardinal fire at the top. So it's drawing everything in. You've got every element. You haven't got every quality, but then that's not too bad. That is a forward-moving petal because there's no fixed in there. So it's not, it's for trying out things. And they seem to be sort of saying, yeah, let's go on that journey. Let's start that journey. Not necessarily putting the fork in the ground to start building your house, because there's a lot of things to tie out. And the following month of Pisces season, it's going to be trying your spiritual path. And that's what's hit coming in here. So your guides are sort of saying to you, don't go too fast. It doesn't necessarily mean that things are changing really quickly. This is where your guides are sort of saying, don't go too fast. I think they're trying to slow you down here, especially because you've got pentacles at the bottom there. Yeah. So I would be very conscious about running off with yourself with ideas. Take your time, let it filter through you over the next month if you've got time. You know, and that could be in your relationships, that could be in your community, that could be in your family and stuff like that. But take your time, because at the base of that, you've got the mutable water, mutable air. So it's a case of give and take. You don't stick your flagpole in anywhere as if to sort of say, this is it, this is the place, because it's mutable mental and mutable emotions. So, but above that, you have your cardinal fire and your fixed earth. So you like things to be, as that fire is coming into you, so the passion of in your relationship, you like it to be a little bit more sort of constructive and defined on the path going forward. And that's on a very subconscious level. Underneath that, underneath petal 10 here, you have that mutable water and that fixed earth. And that is like sort of the earth sort of saying, I'm not going anywhere, but the water can flow through me, which is probably the most fertile situation you can have, having fixed and mutable. And then your cardinal fire, which goes across the top, gives it the warmth that you need for any seed to grow. And, you know, the Page of Swords is standing in a field. He's almost holding a pentacle saying, this is the harvest I can get from the crop I've planted. But I've got to keep some of it to one side to replant. And that's what's coming up for you in the next sort of 2 months. It's coming in and it might be putting a bit of pressure on you, with that Chariot card. But I think your guides are really sort of trying to help you there to sort of slow you down, which is a little bit contradictory to your physical side. I just think on the spiritual side, it's sort of saying, don't get involved. Don't let your emotions just boil over, which you can do, Aries, let's be honest. No. And so it's more sort of saying, take it easy emotionally, just get into your passions of the physical world and just let them fly. Let's see what sticks, see what opens up for you. And then eventually on this part here, you've got the Strength card, and it's a case of kind of going, putting yourself out there, but being true to yourself. That's what it's sort of saying. And it's saying, be soft as a lamb. This is what on your spiritual side, but play hard in the world on your physical side. And that's what it's sort of saying. Yeah. She's looking forward, and actually the lamb is looking down here. So it's asking you to be soft on your emotions. Okay. Then in the middle of you, the overall, is the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups for me is basically, she signifies all the feminine energies in concerns with love and emotions and stuff like that. And she has the complete palette, and she enjoys not just one aspect of pleasure, of emotions and stuff like that. She is multi-dimensional in a way, and she excels that sort of enthusiasm and willingness, for good things. So let that vibrate inside you and vibrate through you. At the base of it, you've got mutable fire and fixed water. And then above it, you've got mutable water and fixed earth. So it's sort of allowing those emotions to be expelled or heated up by the fire, in order for those emotions to evaporate, to become air, because you're going to need air in your life. You're going to need that mental stimulation, and that air comes in from these sides here. So it's going to help to allow your emotions to sort of bubble through you, but don't tie onto them. Just allow them to create that air, so that's good for your fire, so it keeps you bubbly and going on. Coming up in this coming week, what's happening with the sun? I think there's a lot more corona holes, so there's a lot more earth, which is going to keep you stable on your spiritual side. If you want to know about that, go on to Cymatic TV. The link's in the description below. We will be doing updates on a daily basis next week, so that channel is definitely changing. And it would be good to see how the sun interacts with the planets, with the vibration of the earth through the ley lines, the energy lines. So how it's going to vibrate into you, into all of us, and how it changes the structure of this reading here. But I think you probably don't want solar flares because you've got enough enthusiasm as it is in your time of year. It's much better at the moment for, say, like a Sagittarian or an Aries. They're fire signs that could do with those solar flares, but not your good selves. I would be more inclined to encourage that filament energy from the sun, and we'll see how it plays out, because that'll help you with all your waters, all your emotions, and it'll calm that side down so you can be passionate without risking too much. Okay, so there you go, Aries. I hope you've enjoyed that. The second part will be tagged below in the comments section, where we will be using the, where they're gone, they're over here, the travel pack. Yeah, 2 of Cups on the bottom. Runs nicely for you. We're trying to help you. The universe is trying to help you. So after you've subscribed and click that bell, you'll get the notifications of when that video does come up. And that'll be able to give you another perspective and another way to interact with the elements through Cymatic TV. Okay, in the meantime, Aries, don't forget, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.